What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So I've already uploaded my separate video talking about the treasure map preparation, and I want to apologize once again that there were some audio issues in that video. So this video should not have those issues, and hopefully we don't have any of those issues moving forward. But yeah, just wanted to say apologies for the audio in that video, but it should give you guys a bit of a rundown as to some pretty much accessible teams that most people should be able to build, give or take. But today we're looking at my own personal teams that I'll be using in this treasure map, and we'll see how things go. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. The first boss, of course, which is versus Coby, which is going to be this one right here. Now, versus Coby, we have already kind of broken down what he does, but the way that we're getting around it this time is I'm going to be using V2 lore, should I say. V2 lore, 6+, level limit break 5, limit break plus. So a bit of a mouthful there, but basically this lore is pretty much as capped out as he can get. He has a buffed captain ability to give lots of cooldown, so this character will be ready by the time we need his special for that final stage, and his special is the reason why he's so good, right? Because he does -1 cooldown to the crew, and considering only the crewmates are inflicted with special reverse, the captains are untouched. However, there's going to be bind for the crewmates as well, and there's going to be despair. So this special deals with the bind, despair, and the special reverse all in one, so that's fantastic. It also gives the cerebral characters a 2.5 orb boost and a 500 base attack boost, and then we have the support of Cavendish, which attaches to lore, so it gives him an attack boost as well. And then we also have Raid Cracker on the team with the support of Legend Perispero, which says that anytime you're inflicted with attack down from the enemy when the chain multiplier is under a certain amount, basically chain attack down, which is what occurs here, we get a 2.75 chain lock, which does allow us to exceed the attack down chain effect. So essentially, just by activating one lore special, we'll get a matching slot, orb boost, attack boost, and a 2.75 chain lock. We don't have color affinity. I mean, I can chuck a color affinity support on here if I really want to. It's not really going to be a big deal. We do have Queen for his color affinity if we need that, because he gives color affinity to Driven and Cerebral. We could potentially use a better attack boost with the Hina. So, you know, we can change things as we go, but realistically, we want to get through it as fast as possible. We do have Brook on the team too, who just gives us a multiple turns of wave clear. That's legit the only reason why he's here. So it should be a pretty fast team to beat Coby. Moving on next, we have versus Garp being the Psy boss as boss number 2. Want to give a huge shout out to Game Freak in my alliance, who was the original creator of this team, give or take. You know, things are slightly different, but mostly still the same. So the whole idea about this team is to wave clear the first 2 stages with Zoro, and then when we get to the last stage, literally just use this Wiper special. So Wiper, I haven't used him in a while. There was a treasure map, you know, maybe last year sometime, where this Wiper was very good, but he has a really cool special that sets enemies' defense to 0, which is fine, but he cuts your crew's HP by 99% and then deals 50 times the amount subtracted as typeless damage to a single target. So it's really cool because it allows you to do so much damage so long as you have a captain that can give you lots of HP, which is exactly what this Big Mom does. This Big Mom as a captain will give 2 times HP to the crew, and if you have double Big Mom, that's 4 times HP, and we are also using the Navy ship, which gives us 1.5 times HP. So we're getting just a ton of HP, and with this special of Wiper, this should kill Garp up until around nav level, like between 25 and 50 in that range. It is dependent on how much investment you have in your team. I think with my current investment, I should be able to beat until nav level 40. Once that does happen, and I do need to change it up, this team at the top is what I'll probably go to, as I can use Izo Okiku, and I can also use Zorojiro for wave clears and stuff. But basically, we have Brûlé support on the Luffy, lore, and the Kid character to change the block slots into matching on that stage, and then we have Big Mom's super switch to give us an attack and orb boost to the crew. We have the color affinity with the Odin support, and we'll have Big Mom's chain lock, and that should be enough to beat Garp for quite a long time too. We'll see how things progress, but basically Izo Okiku deal with the paralysis as a captain, so we don't have to worry about that really, and then of course Big Mom's chain lock, or even Izo Okiku's chain lock, is enough to deal with the chain attack down effects. So the next boss is versus Kizaru, Borsalino, and very, very similar-ish team as what I talked about in my preparation video, going through accessible teams, and Hiyori with her special with the what's her face, Whitey Bay support will remove all of the despair for us, including our sockets too. And then of course the Zoro special with the support of Koshiro will deal with the defense up, and we can just use the super switch of Odin and Toki to get an orb boost for slashes, so that's pretty nice too. We don't probably need to use their super switch for quite a while, but it's just a really nice thing to have. And of course we do have Daifuku on the team, which can give us multiple turns of wave clear. Could realistically use Zoro as one of the wave clearers too, but it's kind of annoying because of the animations that do occur, but we're going to be using Daifuku as our wave clearer for this team. And then we move on to versus Aokiji. Once again, want to give a huge shout out to my Alliance member Game Freak, who gave the idea of Halloween Ace, because I was originally just going to use Alba because, you know, he's boosted and Alba's an absolute beast, but actually Halloween Ace is a much faster way to get around this. So we do have the Halloween Shirahoshi with her crewmate ability, gives us a full board of rainbow slots at the start of the quest, and then we can wave clear twice with Caesar. We get to the boss stage, and then Ace's captain ability deals with the special bind and the special reverse, so we don't need to use a special that does cooldown reduction, because if you do that, he does like lots of really bad effects, so you obviously don't want that. Ace special plus the support of Law will give us an attack boost and an orb boost, and if we need a chain effect, we can actually go ahead and use the Jack special, which will give us a chain boundary. And of course we have color affinity with the Shirahoshi. There is a 10-hit combo barrier. You could go ahead and use the new Kaido, who with his special will break that barrier for you. I'm just going to be using Ace's barrier penetration to kill at least early nav levels. As things progress, we may have to switch things up, but at least initially this is going to be a really fast team to beat Aokiji. And then we move on to the Sengoku final boss, and of course, no surprise, I was lucky enough to pull these units, so I'm definitely going to be using them in this content. And we also have the Momonosuke, who is one of the high boosters. He's like the only free-to-play unit that's a super high booster, and you know, all of these units basically deal with everything here. Of course, we want to be using Blackbeard, the new Blackbeard versus unit, as a friend captain in order to deal with most of the gimmicks here. That is definitely something that needs to happen. So again, like nothing really too crazy here. We're just using the boosted units. Unfortunately, you know, not really much else to talk about. We're just using the boosted units, and they should be able to deal with it. And then we get to the Sakazuki, the final boss versus Akainu, and of course, once again, we're using the boosted units. Now, you do see that I am using a really odd support on Momonosuke, which is the Tashigi support, and the only reason why we do that is because when we get to the final stage, we have to use the versus effect of Whitebeard to remove an additional 3 turns of the Rainbow Shield. If you don't do that, you're going to have to find an additional way to remove up to 2 turns of Rainbow Shield, because one of the other units that are boosted on this team will actually deal with the Rainbow Shield, which is nice, but it's only 6 of the 8 turns, and this is why we have the support on Momonosuke, because if we are somehow unlucky enough to not get the versus effect of the Whitebeard friend captain, then we can go ahead and just use Momonosuke with his special and that support. That will remove the additional 2 turns of Rainbow Shield that we need, and then we can just go ahead and kill. We don't have to worry about the versus effect. But, you know, most of the time we want to be getting that versus effect to give us the pretty substantial color affinity from Whitebeard, and then the special of Buggy and Shanks will buff that color affinity pretty substantially. I believe up to a 3.25 times color affinity, which is absurd. Not everyone on the team gets a matching slot on the final stage, but it should be enough to get the job done from here on out. So hopefully you enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.